Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm glad to hear on this Monday morning. Going to start out a big week here, a full week of September. Last week it was hot. I just hope it's not as hot this week as it was last week. Today's high is going to be 91, so that's not as hot. The low is going to be 77. Water temperature is still at 87. Our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. Our Monday moon phase brought to us by Mountain Dew. Take it outside with Mountain Dew. We're going to have a full moon. We're in a waxing phase right now. We're going to have a full moon Friday, and guess what date is Friday? The 13th. So be ready. This is the middle of September. It's going to be, by the weekend, it's going to be middle of September. This is when we normally start football season back when I was growing up. It's just too hot to start football season in August. I don't know how the states got around to moving it up, inching it up that far, but really, this is really when it used to start. So it started to be cooler at night and all. That's sort of common sense to most people. But anyway, if you get a chance to go to some high school football games throughout the Panhandle, these communities are really good about doing that. I talk about it every year in the fall. So anyway, full moon on the 13th. So the fishing Wednesday and Thursday of this week on the river system is going to be in really good shape. And also the base system, we got a good tide this week too. Our tide chart is going to be brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. High tide at 6:13 this morning and low at 5:04 tonight. Good tides all week long. Our marine forecast, we're getting back to our routine now. South-southwest, that's sort of the pattern we have most of the summer. We went, I think, 8 days in a row, 7 days in a row maybe, where we had that northeast wind coming from the hurricane all last week. So we're back to normal south-southwest at about 5 to 10. Let's take a break and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. We've got all kinds of stuff to get to do today and a big week coming up, but let's start off with this picture here. We're always talking about doing things outdoors with kids, and a lot of times I like to do things sort of, the regular stuff like the hunting and fishing and hiking and swimming and all that. That's just sort of become normal, but every now and then, if I have an opportunity, I like to teach my kids or now my grandkids something, and all of us have this opportunity now. All the trees have been cut throughout the Panhandle. The other day, actually it was last week, we had all the family down at the Cape House, and we just had a grand time. And one of the things I want to do, I've had this big old tree in my front yard down there, and it lasted through Hurricane Michael. And I was so excited. Most other trees bent over, but this big old tree, big old pine tree, had lasted during the whole storm. And then about 5 or 6 months after the storm, it started turning brown. It started dying. I checked with some people, and they said a lot of trees have done that with just the stress and all through the storm. And so anyway, I paid a guy. I could cut it down. I told Will I cut it down myself. She said no, because it was a big tree. So anyway, I bit the bullet and paid a guy to cut it down. So I got the girls. What they're doing here, they're counting the rings. See how big that tree was? This is Maddie here counting the rings, and then I let her do it by herself. And then I sent Mackenzie out to count the rings to see how old that tree was. And it's fascinating. I got 5 grandkids. I'm going to let all 5 of them count the rings themselves and not tell each other what they count. I've counted it myself just to see how old it is. It's such a neat thing, and they were fascinated with it because some of the rings are really close, and some are sort of spread out, And I said, what do you think the reason for that is? And obviously, and they guessed it, said it had a lot of rain and a lot of growth during that year where it grew so well. So that's an educational experience and a fun outdoor experience for a young person. So if you get a chance, do something like that. I will tell you that tree is, if you want to come down and count the rings, I'm going to tell you how old it is. It's old, okay? It's older than me. So anyway, that's a fun thing to do. I got a couple other things to show. A couple of funny things to show you. This is, at work, staring at the power lines. You'll get it if you're a dove hunter, okay? Because one of the best tasting wild game that you can eat is, after you go on a dove shoot, is wrap it in bacon and put it on the grill. And so if you see, that's what I thought that was hilarious. I just cracked up. As some of you dove hunters appreciate it. That is a really good tasting tasty meat there. And then 1 or 2 more. This one right here, I thought, speaking of birds, I just sold my homing pigeon on eBay for the 22nd time. Now, I like that. Somebody's really thinking doing that. So that's you should be able to get that, okay? And I know if I have some more. I've got several more. I may show some tomorrow. But that's enough for now. Let's go ahead. One other thing too. Larry Brown called me from the Choctaw River area over there. The black flies are in. They've really been. It was that north wind last week that brought all these flies, the yellow flies, the black flies, all those biting flies, and all that wind has brought them down. So be aware of that when you get up in the area out of the wind. This time of year, the early fall, they could be really bad. The other thing too, I was talking about handmade boat paddles. The number for the fellow down in Weewall, that he watches the show, he makes these homemade paddles. Now, I'll also show you the one up there in Westfield. I'll show you that later. But it's Charles Borders. His number is 899-1387. 899-1387. He lives there on 7th Street there in Weewall. Okay? All right, let's take a break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. You know, a lot of times we talk about going out catching all kind of fish, and that's fun and all. But one of the things that we overlook is a lot of times it's the journey itself, just going out and enjoying nature and being around. It could be going offshore, it could be going to the state park, it could be taking a boat, going up the creek or going in the river, whatever. Just going out in a bay system, and people go out to Shell Island for the weekend. I call them the boat people, or the peninsula over there. It's just fun getting out on a boat. Probably my favorite place out of all of them, I think my favorite place is really getting on a river system, an old river system. I guess because I grew up that way, on old creeks and rivers and all, but there's nothing more that I enjoy than going out on a small boat and just going boat riding. And Gail and I did this, and we actually, but I cannot go without taking a pole. And I just stop sometimes along the way. I just see a good fishing spot, I stop. So well, this video is just down at Howard Creek, and we're just riding around in the boat. You'll see a lot of scenery in it. Just want you to relax and get your Monday started off right. So this is really a fun little trip. So let's watch this video. Jeff, let's go and roll it. seconds. That's gonna be good bait. This is mainly a boat ride just to break the engine in. Like I said, I brought some crickets. So what I did, I just ran up the creek about 25 minutes. So I know I got to get 2 hours of break-in time at half speed. So I ran up 25 minutes, so I don't know, go back. That'd be close to an hour going back to the same place. So, but I'm gonna fish a minute. I can't stand it. Can't help it. Can't help it. It's lunchtime, and I got a couple of sandwiches. We're up here in a slough. We're actually down here in Hooper Lake, and I got a sandwich and some worms and crickets. What do you want, a drink or water? What do you want? Drink? Look at that. Oop. He swallowed it. Oh, warmouth. No, let me just do wire hooks and just come right out. Look at that, still got the worm. Well, we just catch and release it today. Folks, I hadn't had a boat out in a while, and I'm leaking. Okay, so I made a make do. Yeah. All right, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that little trip down the creek, and it's just a lot of fun just to get out on the water, just peaceful. You know what I'm talking about and all. If you haven't tried it, give it a try. I want to look at something now. We want to, I got last few minutes, last Friday I didn't get a chance to get on here and show you on the fishing report because something was on my mind I really wanted to share with you. So let me get to it now. I really want to, we're going into the last week of scallop season. I really want to talk about that. And this will be the last week I'll probably have the mahi up. But they're still biting really good on those mahi. But on our scallops, now I'm really at a point where I'm concerned about, and I hate to be this way, but I'm concerned about the huge amount of pressure that we are now putting on the scallop by just the sheer numbers. There's nothing we can do to stop the pressure because we all want to go, including myself and my family. There's nothing wrong about that. But what is happening, we are now at the point where most of the scallops now, I would say 80% of the scallops we're getting right now are too small. They're on the small side, and the meat is small. We want meat the thumb size, and we're getting meat about a little finger and all. And I don't. And another thing, I want to go and show you St. Joe Bay. It's been unique this year because, of course, the abundance of it. But the number is 66, which is a large number. But in the past, it's been over 100. So put that in perspective. Now, I also want to say, we're all along the peninsula. I mentioned this Friday. People are getting scallops all along the peninsula itself instead of just right around Black's Island. And it's been fascinating to watch that. But this is not. Okay, here's Black's Island here, of course, and you know most people go in this area here. The kayakers, and they found this trump hole. Kayakers go out of here, and there used to be a bunch of scallops, but I can promise you there are not many scallops left in here because so many kayakers it's so easy to access. They've really got them. So up and on through the peninsula and over in here. But my point is, I have a proposal, and I really think they bounce around on the seasons and all. I would like to see them just get one set season because in the years past, for 20, maybe 30 years, it's always around July 4th when they're open. And then they started changing because of the population, so I understand that. But one of them, and I really applaud them for starting later on in the summer because they are bigger, but this year is an anomaly, I guess. So here's my proposal. Let's use Labor Day weekend as a sort of anchor date. And let's open up always a week or two before Labor Day and run it a week after Labor Day. We're close to that now, but we're going way back in. We're doing about 5 weeks. So I'd like to see it cut down to about 3 weeks. That would give you like 3 weekends, say the weekend before Labor Day weekend, and weekend after. I know a lot of y'all are going to be critical of that, but if we want to save our scallops, we're going to have to do something like that. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens next year. Now, we've got a program going where we're trying to put them in the cages and sort of spawn in one area. And we've been throwing, I've talked to other people, they've been throwing little scallops like this, been throwing them up in the grass and all. Folks, I'll promise you, we're not going to be able to save them that way. The only way we're going to save them is just don't have that much pressure. So my goal is to get, I don't know if FWC is going to have any kind of a hearing on it, but you stop and think about that. As a family, you can still plan to go down there. Though you have 3 different weekends to go. And honestly, you don't need to go 5 or 6 times. Going a couple of times, 2 to 3 times, to me is plenty. And once you do that, you can you'll have enough scallops. I just wanted to throw that out. I've only got about a minute left, but just give it a thought and all. And I'm going to try to go through the proper authorities and recommend this. Talk to the marine biologists. They're really good about their research, and they're good about sharing it with us. And so we can share it with you. So anyway, that's my feelings on scallops. I wanted to talk about that. You do have this week on into the weekend. It's going to end this coming Sunday. So if you go out and really take a double look at the size of them, if it's small, throw them back, and just get enough to enough for y'all to eat. Don't worry about packing up the freezer anymore. You might want to freeze it for next week or something. But anyway, I just wanted to. That's my last talking about on scallops and all for this year. It's been a wonderful year, some great experiences. We've only been a couple of times, so we've had a very, very busy schedule, but I've had a lot of friends, a lot of people I know. I've seen a ton of pictures. That's how social media is now. You can keep up with what's going on. So it's been good. Okay, we're going to wrap it up tomorrow. Got some more good stuff coming up tomorrow. So we appreciate the feedback y'all give us. We appreciate you watching the TV show when it comes on, and y'all are good about talking to us. Have a great day. Do something good for your fellow man. Enjoy the outdoors, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.